Not very experienced with these lives yet, but welcome to the BPM Lifestyle. It's only 9 days until the free BPM Lifestyle Summit, where I am going to share some things with you which can help change your life. When I say help change your life, I can give you the tool, I can show you why you need the tool, I can show you how to use the tool, but I can't make you use the tool. That's the biggest barrier in all of health and wellness and everywhere in the world where there's problems. People are not willing to face the root cause of the issues. And in a huge number of cases, a huge number, we're talking a billion people or more, the root cause of your chronic illness is not genetics. It's behavior. Okay, genetics can influence behavior, but at the end of the day, what you do and what you eat are responsible for at least a billion people being chronically ill. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want to watch that happen in the world. I don't want to see my friends and family suffering pain and dying prematurely from preventable disease. That's horrible to watch. It's horrible to have the experience of having a chronic illness. I lived with pain for 25 years every single day. That doesn't just affect your body, it affects your mind, and it affects your entire life purpose. Every day you have to struggle, every day hurts. There's no peace. And it eats away at your soul. You wonder what the point of living is when every day is pain. But I wasn't willing to make certain changes to my lifestyle because I liked the lifestyle that I was living. But it wasn't supportive of my biochemistry. And as a chemist, I should have known better before, but I let my body dictate what I did in a way. I didn't consider the behaviors and actions that were negatively affecting my health. I just did them because everybody else did the same thing. It was normal. It was just being a normal human being, because we've normalized poisoning ourselves every single day. We've normalized chronic illness as something that is just part of our life now. 2 billion people live with a chronic illness. More than 2 billion people. 2 billion people is a conservative estimate. It's maybe closer to 3 billion. 2 to 3 billion people suffer every single day with a disease of some kind. That's horrible for them, and it's horrible for their family. And the friends of these people who, have to see someone they love suffer, it's hard for everyone involved. And the wellness and medical industries rake in $15 trillion a year. That's $40 billion a day. $40 billion a day is spent on healthcare, and we are sicker than ever. Doesn't that kind of worry you a little bit? That we spend 40 billion a day and we're still as sick as we are? That should, on its own, that one statistic should shock you. It's not working. The medical wellness industry is not working. If we're spending 15 trillion a year, we should be so healthy. Disease should be eradicated by now. But it's not, because the shareholders of all of these corporations are raking in all of your money because you're sick and you're spending a fortune to try and feel a little bit better while they make $15 trillion a year from your sickness. There's no money in being healthy. And that's really hard, because I want to make money like anybody else. I need to make money to live. But I don't want to make money from someone's pain. I have very strong feelings about that as someone who lived in pain for 25 years with nothing helping me. And I don't want anybody else to be in the situation where they're suffering some illness and they are stopped from getting something that could help them because they can't afford it, which is why the BPM Lifestyle Summit and the course are free. If you want personalized support from me, as in coaching, then that has to be a paid option because I can't afford to live and work for nothing. But the course, as it stands, is free if you come to the summit on the 1st of May. And I will show you some very simple, basic tools based in science that will help your body align its biochemistry back to its natural state. And healthy and happy are your body's natural state. We are kept in a state of fear and panic and pain by society because of the way it's designed. If you think about how your life is structured and you structure in certain behaviors which will allow your body to experience what it needs in order to heal itself, then you have more chance of getting rid of the symptoms that you currently have, or preventing the development of symptoms that you may get in your lifetime as you get older. The longer we live, the more chance we have of developing a chronic illness. But we don't need to be getting chronically ill in our 30s and 40s. We have amazing technologies now that can keep us alive longer with our sickness. But very few protocols actually reverse disease. And anything that does reverse a disease or cure something in a short period of time is shamed, ridiculed, or outright forbidden by society. We police each other by telling each other, you shouldn't do this particular activity because this activity is woo-woo magic or some other kind of description. It's a placebo. It's either some kind of pseudoscience, placebo, woo-woo magic, whatever word you want to describe something that you don't understand as being. And most people don't understand chemistry, so they see chemistry and they think it's magic. But it's not magic, it's just chemistry and physics. But it looks like magic if you don't understand what's going on. As a chemist and physicist, my whole life I wanted to understand the fabric of reality. Because if I can understand it, I can manipulate it. And if I can manipulate it, maybe I can cure my pain. But that process took me 25 years to figure out because nobody taught me how to do it because nobody else knew. I went to the doctor, I've got pain, can you help me? I'm 10 years old. Imagine this, you're 10 years old and you have chronic pain every single day. And you go to the doctor and they can't help you. And what they do makes you worse. What they did to me caused more damage than I was before I even mentioned it. I should have just stayed quiet and not even told them because they just made it worse. So I have severe PTSD from going to the doctor. It was the last place you should ever get PTSD from. But now I go to the doctor, I think, what are they going to do to me this time? I was 10 years old. How many other children are put through torturous treatments when they don't need to in some cases? Not every case. There are some people that have severe genetic conditions they're born with. I'm not talking about genetic conditions you're born with. You can't fix those. But it doesn't mean you can't improve the symptoms. I can't cure my genetic condition. I'm born with it. I have to live with it. But I can live better with it. There are things I can do to improve the quality of my life. Even if I can't cure something, I can still improve my quality of life. And I want to share the tools that have helped me improve my life with you, because then you can potentially improve the quality of your life. And if you get to the same point that I got to, where I had pain-free days. When you've lived in pain every day for 25 years, to experience a day without pain feels like magic, feels like a miracle, feels like something, some divine intervention. It feels amazing because nobody had any answers until I figured it out myself. And I'm going to give it to you for free because I want to help you as well. But I can't help you actually do these things. I can teach you the tools. I can show you how they work. I can give you the chemistry if you want to go that deep. But I can't make you do these practices. You have to find a way to integrate them into your day. It's fun. It's not something that's a torturous experience. It's literally designing your dream life and living it. Surely, to be happy, healthy, and wealthy is everybody's dream. Well, why don't you actually take a step forward, one step, on a journey with me? Join the community, bpmlifestyle.com. There's a free community, there's a free ebook, and the summit is free. If you sign up before the 1st of May, you get all the course for free as well. And if you go through the course and understand the basic principle, and then apply that principle in your own way that fits in with your lifestyle, all you're doing is a few simple daily practices that take a few minutes that enable you to learn how to control your biochemistry a little bit better than you do now. And over time, slowly, bit by bit, your body can adapt. And when you adapt over a period of 3, 6, 9 months, your body can start to heal. It takes time. You're trying to undo a lifetime of damage. And that doesn't happen in a few days. The problem with a lot of these wellness practices is people don't do them every day, and they don't do them long enough to see a benefit, and then they say, oh, this doesn't work. It's not about whether this process is working or not. All the process is doing is helping your biochemistry to live in its natural state. It's not supposed to be curing anything, but if you do live in your natural state, then you've got a better chance of your body initiating a healing process. It can't do that if it's constantly fighting against you, your behaviors and what you put in your mouth and your environmental stimulants. If you live in a massive city, like maybe you live in New York, you're surrounded everywhere by pollution and noise, and everything is completely unnatural. I mean, Central Park is nice, but you know, it's one green place in the whole city of 9 million people. It's not enough. It's not enough nature. You need to be in contact with nature because you are an animal. You're a mammal, and you've existed from, you know, depending on who you listen to, we've been evolving for millions of years, but the Homo sapien is approximately 300,000 years of evolution. So for 300,000 years, your body has been in nature. It's been connected to its environment, and all it's been exposed to are natural stimuli. Now we have zero connection to nature, and everything is artificial. The food is artificial. The lighting is artificial. The spaces are artificial. The electromagnetic field is artificial. And your body responds to all of these things. You can't put your body completely in an unnatural environment and feed it unnatural food and not develop disease. It's inevitable. And we live in a world now where billions of people are living this way and getting sick. And when you get sick, someone comes along, I've got the solution to your problem. Give me all your money and I'll fix your problem. But they're only dealing with the surface level symptoms in a lot of cases, not every single case. There are obviously some things that the interventions work. But in a large number of chronic illness cases, all the doctors are doing is managing your disease. They're not actually reversing the disease. If you go to a doctor and you say you're having issues and they find out that you have diabetes, then they can give you some medications if it's type 2 diabetes and you're in the first initial stages of it, or it may be that you need insulin. But the insulin is replacing a natural part of your body that's not functioning anymore. In type 1 diabetes, you don't make insulin, so the prescription of the insulin is basically supplementing your own production. You're not making enough, or they're not making any at all, and you need to inject the insulin in order to replace that compound. This is an example of a medicine that saves the lives of millions of people. I'm not against the pharmaceutical industry in all respects. I'm against the unnecessary medication of people for symptoms that can be reversed with lifestyle changes. And about 80% of the diseases that we suffer from are primarily caused by our environment, and our environment includes our food and our drink and our atmosphere that we're poisoning every single day. A lot of people are against the whole concept of global warming, because global warming is about CO2. It's not just CO2, it's all the other poisonous substances that are released when you burn coal and oil and gas. I mean, even in gas, there's still, even though it's only a short chain alkane, they still have impurities which, when they're burned, go into the air and you breathe them in and blah blah blah. We end up with respiratory diseases being a major killer of humans. I don't understand this pushback against green energy. It just makes no sense. The pushback against eating whole foods and living in contact with nature is shamed by society. For what reason? Why? It makes no sense for people that are really sick and dying every day. 170,000 people die every single day, and half of them don't need to. Half of them could be avoided with just simply following the BPM lifestyle, and it's free. So if you're not doing the BPM lifestyle, you are really hurting your health for no reason. You can't say, oh, this is too expensive, I can't afford to do this. It's free. You have no reason to not do it. Oh, I don't have time to do it. What else are you doing with your time that's more important than looking after your body? You only have one body. That's it. When it breaks and you're dead. Imagine if you treated your car as abysmally as you treat your body. It would break down really quickly. You have to service your car in order to keep it on the road. You have to put the correct fuel in that car needs. If you put diesel in a petrol car or petrol in a diesel car, it's not going to work efficiently. And yet people throw whatever they want in their mouth without thinking about what they eat. And your body's crying for nutrition and you're not giving it anything. You're just giving it flavored energy. Flavored energy tastes nice, gives you that little dopamine high, but it has no nutrition and your cells are dying. They can't reproduce if they don't have the materials to reproduce. So what do you need in order to reproduce a cell? You need all the ingredients of a cell. So, what's the best food? Cells. Complete, whole cells from plants primarily. If you absolutely refuse to go vegan, then that's your business. I mean, you can do what you want. But at least eat actual, real, whole cells, not this processed garbage. If you're going to poison yourself, at least try to limit it a little bit. Not eat literally constantly everything that is the opposite of what your body needs. Human physiology is plant-based. You can't argue it any other way. without just talking nonsense, because biology doesn't care about your opinion. Biology is biology, and it works whether you believe it or not in the way that it needs to work. You can't decide how your cells function. They just do their job. You have no control over the chemical reactions that happen in your cells. So I don't understand this absolute madness on social media where people will stand up and shame eating a vegetable to the point where they pretend and they make up some nonsense studies that vegetables contain these toxins and vegetables are going to kill you and vegetables are this. If you eat fruit, you're going to die, and all this other absolute rubbish. And then they say, yeah, don't eat fruit, eat just red meat. Just red meat and salt. It's the ultimate diet. What? It's even called the lion diet. This is the most insane thing I've ever heard in terms of nutrition. There's some wacko stuff on the internet about nutrition. I get bombarded by all this stuff every day in my feed of these people just talking nonsense about food. But this one, it just takes the absolute piss. You're not a lion. You're a human being. You need to eat a species-appropriate diet. And a species-appropriate diet is the biggest range of plant foods that you can find. If you can't get access to any plant foods at all, then you can survive on other stuff. But it's not what your body's designed to eat as its primary fuel source. I'm going to talk a little bit about this in more detail on the second day of the summit, which will be about plants. But you have to actually try and understand a tiny little bit about your biology, because you're a human and you need to live in alignment with your DNA. You are not a rabbit, you are not a lion, you are not a bird, you are not a shark, you're a human. And human biology has a certain set of rules that apply to every human being. You can't decide that you don't like oxygen and you're not going to breathe it. You will die. You cannot decide that you don't want to eat amino acids, because if you don't eat amino acids, you will die. You have biological nutritional needs, and those biological nutritional needs must be met every single day of your life in order to stay in an optimum health state. Over time, the more toxins you consume, the bigger your chance of those toxins affecting you are. If you have a small amount of a toxin, your body is very, very good at cleaning out your body and removing those substances. Your liver is an amazing piece of engineering. It can take all of this environmental poison, process it into something safe, and then excrete it out of your body, either into the urine, or sometimes things can come out through your skin and other places, and you breathe out some waste products through your lungs. There's various ways that these toxins can exit from your body, and in small quantities, your body does a really good job at doing that. The normal amounts of these compounds in the general environment in nature are small. Your body's used to that amount of toxin, but when you add in man-made chemicals in the quantities that we're consuming, you are increasing your risk of developing a condition, because your cells are having to do extra work to get rid of these toxins. The number one most crazy one is alcohol. It's a poison. I'm a chemist. In the lab, it's got a poison label on it because you don't want to be drinking it. But if you dilute it enough and then add some nice sugars and flavors to it, makes it barely palatable. Well, I hate the taste of any alcohol. I don't understand how people like the taste of it. But it's a poison. And when it goes into your body, it poisons every single cell in your body. And your body freaks out. And it activates these toxic cleaning pathways to get rid of this poison. And while it's doing that, those molecules, they can't process the other toxins that are in your body. Like the waste products from metabolism or any other waste products that you've got from your food that shouldn't be there. These enzymes that are used to break down the alcohol are also used to break down these other toxins. But when you drink the alcohol, it shifts that process into, right, we've got to fight the poison first. So it targets the alcohol, but it leaves all the other molecules floating around in you for longer than they would normally. So you're doubling your rate of poisoning by consuming the poison that is then having to be removed, but slows down the removal of all the other poisons that you're naturally generating through metabolism. But it's absolutely normal to drink poison every day. People celebrate every single possible reason they drink. Every day they go to the pub, they drink. Every day they're having a meal out with friends. There's always a bottle of wine or a beer or something. It's just normal everyday culture. And we've got people dying every single day from this poison, and we do nothing about it. And yet we ban harmless plant medicines that can cure depression, can cure PTSD, can cure severe mental illness. But they're illegal. You're not allowed to cure them. This will be partly mentioned again on day 2. So, I'm not going to make this video massively long, but this is to wake you up a little bit. Because I don't want to watch my family die. I don't want to watch my friends die. My friend died at 37 from a blood clot in his brain. My granddad died at 48 from a blood clot in his heart. My dad died at 62, and my friend died at 62 from cancer. Everyone in my family has had cancer except me. I'm the only one in my immediate family that hasn't had cancer. I'm the only one who's not obese. I'm the only one who doesn't have any debilitating conditions now. And I have the same genetics as the rest of my family, but I control what goes in my mouth, and I control my environment, and I control how I think and what I do in order to benefit my biochemistry to the best of my ability in the body that I have. You have your DNA, your unique special code that defines everything about your body structure. And that's written when you're born. And there's nothing you can do yet to change that code. We're developing genetic technologies that may be able to go in and do some genetic manipulation. But these processes are extremely difficult and expensive right now. So it's not something that's commercially viable for your average person to have optimized DNA. So you have to live with the DNA that you already have. And that DNA has certain needs. And it has certain special needs in some cases. People like me who have EDS, my collagen gene that codes for type 3 collagen, which is mainly found in your skin and your internal organs and your blood vessels and eyes and ears and all the connective tissue that holds all your body together. My instruction book for that protein is slightly wonky. You have a certain length of DNA which codes for a protein, and you have your 4 letters, your A, T, G, C letters. And if one of those letters is in the wrong place, that's called a variant of a gene. You have a single nucleotide. The ATGCs, they're nucleotides, and when one of them is in the wrong place, that causes a different amino acid to be put into that protein in that position. So if you've got a long chain of amino acids, like in collagen, because collagen is it's like a bit like a rope. You've got 3 strands that wrap around each other to make a rope kind of structure, and then these ropes, they link to each other to build networks around your body to hold your body into the shape that it is. But these links, these chain links, if there's a different type of amino acids in this chain where it's supposed to be one specific shape, but it's a different shape, then it turns the structure of that rope into it has a different elasticity. So instead of being nice strong rope, it's more like a rubber band, and it stretches a little bit more than it should. And this little bit of stretching, under normal circumstances, isn't a big issue until you get punched or kicked, or you fall over, or you have a car crash, or something causes a massive spike in blood pressure and you burst one of your arteries or something like that. In my case, it doesn't affect my life too badly unless I get some kind of an impact injury. Having a car crash is not good for me. Being physically assaulted is not good for me. That's what caused my chronic pain for 25 years, was being kicked in the playground when I was 10 years old. Bullies don't care about the damage they do to their victims. They just violently assault anyone they choose, not thinking about the damage that they do. And it damaged me permanently. I still have problems now, but by living the BPM lifestyle, I've managed to reduce the pain by 95%. And even a reduction of 10% is better than nothing. So I'm just asking you to try something you haven't done before. If you have a chronic illness, I know how hard it is to live in a body that doesn't work the way you want it to. And that leads to all sorts of problems mentally. Physical problems with the pain and the fatigue and the not being able to do what you want, then becomes the mental stress of living in a body that hurts so much and you can't do what you want, and then depression and anxiety and all these other mental problems all compound, and they make the pain worse, and then they feed each other, and you get to the point where you're completely debilitated and maybe bedbound. But the BPM lifestyle, even if you're bedbound, can help you a little bit. Even if it just feel 10% better. Is that not better than now? For free? And if you can improve by 90% like I did, it's life-changing. It seriously is life-changing. But I can't change your life for you. I can only show you the map. BPM Lifestyle is a map. It's a guide for you to try and give your body what it needs. And if you give your body what it needs, then it can do its job. But most people neglect their needs and only do what they want, or they sacrifice their needs for the needs of others. Like, you may have a young disabled child. All of your power and your energy and your focus may be taken up by taking care of the needs of your family and others around you. And that's such an amazing gift that you're giving to help that person who needs it. But if it's at the detriment of your own health, then over the long term, it's not going to help you, because you can't help them if you are sick. You have to put your needs first in whatever situation you're in. Just like they say on the aeroplane, put your oxygen mask on first and then help the others. Same happens in your life. Take care of your needs first. When your needs are met, you can help other people meet theirs. That's what I'm doing now. My needs are met now. I have an amazing house. I have an amazing dog. I have a car. I have food. I have electricity. I have the internet. What more do I need? Now I have all these basic needs. I'm not in pain every day. I can help other people. And by having this channel and being able to talk to the world live and share my story and share the things that I've learned that have helped me live a better life, that can help you too, it's silly not to try. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I know I don't like being told what to do. It's horrible because you must do this. I'm not telling you you must do anything at all. All I'm going to do is teach you what your body needs, and you have a choice to meet that need or not. You need oxygen. You can have a choice. You can hold your breath and just stop breathing. You can do that. You have that option. If you want to do that, you can do that. That's totally up to you. But I don't recommend it. Life is, in most cases, quite a fun experience when you're not being tortured by other people. Unless you like that, obviously. But generally, people don't, if it's a consensual event, then fine. But if it's unconsensual violence against someone against their will, then it's not fun. And most of the violence that people are subjected to is by arseholes trying to ruin your life and make money while doing it. And I don't want to be a part of that system. So I'm trying to save you from a life of pain, early death, and your bank balance. But you can ignore everything I say. You have absolutely the right to say, you're just a crazy man. I'm not going to listen to a word you say. And that's absolutely your right to do so. But your cells don't care about your opinion. They don't care whether you like me or not. Your cells need what they need. And if you choose not to give them what they need, you will end up sick. And you will die prematurely from a disease that's completely preventable. So meet your needs. And I'll show you how. It's not that difficult. And it's free. So give it a try. Change your life. And when you've changed your life, change somebody else's life. 2 billion people need to hear this message. Share it. Find someone who needs some help and tell them, go and have a look at the BPM lifestyle, integrate it into your life and see if it works. What have you got to lose? Maybe you've got some heart disease or cancer that you would like to lose. Well, why don't you try the BPM lifestyle as a supplement to your medical treatment? Don't do anything drastic and stop a medication or stop a treatment. If you have a severe chronic illness, don't suddenly change anything without talking to your doctor. Do it with them. They should be teaching this. Doctors should teach the BPM lifestyle as fundamental because it's fundamental to your biology. If you want to be healthy, you have to give your cells what they need. This is not optional. This is not woo-woo magic. This is just chemistry. You are a big bag of chemicals. And they will only work if you give them what they need. And how do you know what they need? Well, no other animal on Earth has that question. They just know. You don't have to go and tell a deer what food is. It doesn't need a food pyramid to know what to eat. It just eats what it eats. Birds don't need you to tell them, oh, well, a scientific study says the bird must eat this thing. The bird knows what to eat. But humans don't. And we're the most intelligent species on Earth. Really? We're the most intelligent species, and we poison ourselves to death by eating things that are basically addictive poison. They're designed to be as Moorish as possible, so you eat more than you need. Far more than you need. While neglecting eating the things you actually need. This is sad. The food industry feeds the medical industry. They feed each other. It's like $25 trillion a year in processed food and medical bills as a result of the processed food. They're making $25 trillion a year from you because you refuse to eat some plants and give your body what it needs. Do you really want that to be your life? Constantly going to the doctor every 5 minutes for another symptom when a significant number of them don't even need to exist in the first place? cancer, diabetes, dementia, heart disease. They're all run in my family. Everyone has had them or died from them. I don't want to go that way. That's not a nice thing to watch. It's not a nice thing to experience. So I will do everything in my power to not experience that. And you can do the same too. And it's not like I live a boring life and my life is hell and being healthy is boring. Do you know how boring it is to be sick and in bed for 5 months not being able to move? That's not fun at all. But that's been my life for many, many years. The annoying thing about EDS is you can be doing something completely normal, like making a cup of tea, and then bang, all of a sudden, your body just doesn't work anymore, and your arm is just a floppy, useless thing. I had to do like 2 months, my arm just stopped working. Why did it stop working? Because I slept a bit weird. The position on my pillow, I slept a bit strange, and then for 2 months I couldn't use my arm. This is not normal. And there's nothing I can do to fix it. So I have to design my life in a way that makes it less likely that I will get a trigger of, we call it flares in our community, a flare of fibromyalgia or a flare of EDS or a flare of MCAS and all these other symptoms that people have. You have to try to live in a way that reduces your flares by learning what causes them. Why are you okay 1 minute and not okay the next minute? What was the thing that caused that trigger? And then when you figure out these triggers, you have to try and figure out ways that you can manage that to reduce the chance of it causing a trigger again. I can't go anywhere near a cat. If I go near a cat, I'll have an asthma attack and may end up in hospital. So I don't go near cats. If there's a certain food that triggers you, don't eat it. If you're triggered by gluten or you have some peanut allergy or whatever other food allergy that you have, then don't eat that food. But you have to eat something, and you have to try and get as many whole, complete cells in you as possible, because you can't build a new cell without all the ingredients of a cell. And processed food is not made of cells. It's made of ingredients, powders and liquids that are mixed together with emulsifiers and other agents to make them into structures. But these structures are just structured energy that's flavored and made to look and taste nice. It's not designed to nurture your cells and give them what they need to repair and multiply. So why don't you try, just give yourself 6 months. Integrate the principles of the BPM lifestyle for 6 months, and if it doesn't do anything at all to your quality of life, then don't do it anymore. Stop. If you experience any improvement of any part of your life, then it's proof that the system works. I can't afford to run a scientific study and get thousands of people to participate and prove that this works to you. We've got thousands of studies already that show everything that I talk about is true. You just have to read them and understand them. And if you don't understand science, I can translate it into normal person language so that you can understand it. So everything that's in the course is scientifically backed, but translated in a way that I hope people can understand. And if there's anything that you don't understand and you'd like it explained in a different way that helps you understand it better, then tell me, ask me in the group, and I can reframe a lesson, or I can give you something else if that lesson is something that you can't do because of a disability or whatever else, and there's something blocking you from being able to do that particular principle, then perhaps I can find a different alternative that can still give you the same benefits but through a different method. But without feedback from people, I don't know what your needs are and how to meet those needs. So, welcome to your new life if you choose to join me. Or if you don't choose to join me, that's absolutely your choice. You can live the life you've always lived, and you don't have to make any changes at all. You can just get whatever diseases are coming and deal with it. Or you can try to reduce your chances of getting them in the first place. Is it better to reduce your chances of getting a disease, or is it better to get the disease and then try and cure it? Well, I'd rather not get it in the first place. I don't want cancer and then try and cure it. I want to stop myself from getting cancer in the first place. That's a better option. And there's ways that you can adapt your lifestyle to minimize that risk. You can't eliminate it. That's not possible. You can never reduce the risk of anything to zero. We're all going to die eventually. How many years you have and the quality of those years matters. I'm 45 now. I'm not ready to go yet. I was ready when I was 15. I wanted to leave, but I didn't. I stayed. I'm still here now, and my heart's still pumping. My brain is still working, and if I can still speak or type, I can help someone else who's also suffering. So this is long enough now. I'm going to go live every day between now and the summit, just so that people can get to know me a little bit more by looking back through the videos, if they're new when we get to the summit on the 1st of May. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you again tomorrow, where I'm just going to talk a little bit more about things that can change your life if you choose. So goodbye for now, and I will see you tomorrow.